Hi guys, welcome back. In case you're new here, my name is Cheryl and this is Avery Street Design Studio. My husband and I, we put out a video every Sunday at 10 a.m. showing you how to make projects, woodworking projects that you can make money on. Well, today I'm going to show you my stenciling technique. I'm super excited to share this with you. I've actually never seen anyone use this technique, and it's going to be different, but it works great every single time, and it's very cost effective. So let's get started. So the technique I use is, it's a marker, but it's not just a regular marker. It's a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen brush, big brush, and they come in about 25 different colors. And it's not a regular marker. It's made out of India ink. Let's face it, we've all tried to mark on something we've painted with a Sharpie or a marker, and it just didn't work. It gummed up. The difference is a Sharpie or other kind of markers are made with alcohol. They're all alcohol based. Well, this is not. This is ink. So these are amazing. I don't use any other brand. I've tried everything, and this is the best. They're refillable. You can get India ink and just refill them, and they last a long time. They come in a variety of sizes. This is the big brush. This is the one I use mostly for stencils, unless they're small stencils. And then I use the smaller size, which is the B is the size of it. So let me show you how it's done. And I'm going to include a link at the bottom of this video to direct you to Faber-Castell if you would like to purchase some of the markers, just so it'll be easy for you. So let's get going. So this is so easy. I'm just going to take my marker, and I have put a stencil down. I just took the PDF file and changed it and put it in Cricut and printed out a stencil, which I can show you guys how to do sometime. I'm just going to take my marker and I'm going to go along the edges. You don't want to press down really hard because, you know, you don't want any bleed. But this is so much better than using paint, and it doesn't take very long at all. Just go around. And you know, you can do it in a variety of colors. They even make white markers. So it's amazing. It's the best way I've ever found to do this. And you can just keep reusing your stencil. You can keep reusing your marker. You just refill it, and super cost effective. I usually just outline them first always, and then just color in the center. You can make signs, you can do all kinds of stuff. And then the fine little details, you just use the smaller size marker. But the reason why this works on paint or something that's been stained and then sealed is because it's India ink. It's not like using a regular marker. Regular markers just do not work. And paint pens, you have to press on the tip, and then you end up getting a flood of paint, and I just never really liked the way they turned out using them. So this has been amazing. It works best on flat paint. It works great on craft paint. It works good on stained wood. Of course, you have to seal it. You can distress. You can put it over bare wood. You just need to seal the wood first so you don't have any bleed. It's amazing. I'm so excited to show you guys. I have looked and looked and have never seen anybody do it like this. And I've wanted to show people for a long time because, you know, I feel like they're missing out on an excellent way to stencil. It's just so easy. And you can keep reusing and reusing the stencil, and you don't have to worry about cleaning paint off of it. You just use it, put it away, and then use it the next time. And there are other brands that make India ink markers, but I've tried them all, and I feel like Faber-Castell is the best. I love their ink. I love their markers. They're just absolutely great. So then you just take your stencil off, and you have a perfectly stenciled item. If you ever have any bit of bleed, like maybe you press down too hard, you can always just take your small marker or even your large marker and just kind of go back on it and correct it really easily. And this stuff dries instantly, like in no time at all. So you don't have to worry about letting something dry. I just suggest when you're done, going over top of it with a spray sealer, some of the canned kind. I don't know about rolling on polyacrylic. I've not done that, but I'm sure it would be fine because once this is dry, it's dry. So that's the first stencil we'll do for today. Next one, I'm going to show you how to do a word, and then I'm going to show you how to connect the letters. My personal preference, I do not like when there are words on a sign or anything that you can tell it was a stencil. I like the words connected so that it looks like, it was put on there another way and not stenciled. So once again, I'm just going to go in with my marker. And you can see I've used this stencil before. This is actually the stencil I used on the tombstone that we did on our Halloween series. And that was last week's video. And you just, same thing, just go in and do your stencil. Now, if there's like any loose parts, I like to put my finger down on it so it doesn't move. And once this is sealed, I mean, it looks just like it was like screen printed on there or painted. It turns out perfect every time. And I've tried stenciling with paint and all those other ways, and using vinyl lettering is great too, but there's a lot of cost involved in that, because you have to constantly buy the vinyl, you have to cut it out, and this way you make one stencil and you can get a whole lot of uses out of it. I usually only get rid of the stencil is when the marker gets too, caked up on there, but you can probably get 100 or more uses out of one stencil. Or more than that, I don't really know. I don't change them out very often at all. But they just work so well. So these markers are $6 a piece on Faber-Castell, and one marker will last you a long time. Even when the tip gets worn out, you can trim it down with your scissors. I mean, that's what I do. But I always like to have, when I'm stenciling a lot, I like to have one and then I keep a brand new one for any fine lines, if I need to make any lines on anything. But you can make a lot of money with just one marker. It's so cost effective. And it's like perfect. Always turns out perfect every time. And like I said, if you have any cleanup you need to do, you can just go back. And you can even use a ruler when connecting the letters. I mean, if you want them to stay looking like a stencil, that's fine too. That's, you know, it's personal choice. I just prefer when it doesn't look like it's stenciled on letters. But you design your stuff how you want it, how you prefer. And you can just sit down and, you know, get all your projects ready. Sit down with your marker and your stencil and just stencil away, and then you have it all done. Then all you have to do is go back and seal it with something. So pull this off. So now we have welcome, but right now it looks like it's a stencil. So what I'm gonna do is come back in here with my skinnier marker and just connect them. If you don't feel like you can do it without a ruler, then get out your ruler and do it. I do these so much that I'm used to it.
Much more.
You're just gonna go through and connect everything. It is so easy. But like I said, one of the keys to getting it to come out really nice is don't press down too hard with your marker when you're outlining your stencil, because that's what can make it bleed. A light touch is all you need to do, because this ink is amazing. And if you see if there's any little crevices in the wood, just go back and kind of tap your marker in there to fill those up so that it's complete. You can also, if you want your words to be distressed, seal it with some spray sealer, let it dry, and then go back over it with a little piece of sandpaper, and you can distress your letters or your design, image, whatever it is you're stenciling. If you don't have a Cricut, you can use any pre-made stencils wherever you buy stencils. They sell a ton on Amazon, Hobby Lobby if you have that where you live. Temu has very low cost stencils. I bought a whole lot of them for Christmas one year to make a bunch of Christmas projects. So that is all there is to it. It's easy, no mess, no cleanup. Put your cap back on your marker and you are good to go.